We have no idea what's going on, and that's perfect. So I've been dealing with anxiety. You could say maybe paranoia or just basically fear, right? I suppose it's been coming up to be cleared. Perhaps I'm not alone in that. Most certainly I'm not alone in that. Given the energetic state of the world, I'd say. When we're in fear, the idea of knowing of knowing anything is kind of, I wouldn't say relieving, but you end up being, may well be attached to the idea of knowing what's going to happen, or knowing what is happening, or even what did happen, but knowing nonetheless. And in that knowing, there's this idea that then you'll be safe somehow, right? Then you'll be in control. Then you'll be happy. But we don't actually get happy from that at all. It takes us out of the present. And I suppose it takes us out of peace and more into anxiety, because we can't ever really know. It's a sort of inauthentic lie that provides at most temporary comfort. But the idea there's this duality to it where if you don't know, you're unsafe, and if you know, you're safe. So the inverse that it hides is at the root of it. You're trying to make it so that you're right by knowing. You're trying to achieve what's already achieved because you're under the illusion that you haven't got it. You're in a sort of negative scarcity mindset when you feel like you have to know to be all right, because we already know and don't know at the same time. I know it's kind of paradoxical. When we let go of our attachment to knowing, we open up space for divine inspiration, or basically a download or for that to flow into us. Understanding, knowledge, whatever you call it, it can flow into us when we let go of the idea that we have it. So, yeah. We feel like we know what's going to happen, and we can predict it. And we imagine these scenarios that may seem awful or may even seem good, but we don't know. We have no idea what's happening. No idea. That's the truth of it. There's a huge mystery that even in the Law of One, Ra says that even to them, being itself is a mystery. It's always a mystery. Now, you might learn more, understand more, get higher levels of consciousness, but you never really know. And that's actually for you, because when you're in the acceptance of the unknown, the message of fear, which says you can know this, you can know that, well, let's find out what we can know so that we'll be all right, because then we can take measures to deal with threats. You don't know. There might be a threat just around the corner, or is there? I don't think so, because threats aren't real. But the positive and the negative, you have no idea at any moment. And what makes you think that this moment, if you feel anxiety now, hypothetically, what makes you think that this moment is any more, let's say, dangerous than any other moment, right? How many times have you been in a situation you'll be like, what if this happened? Oh God, that would be awful, wouldn't it? Oh, there's this thing I'm afraid of. What if it happens? Oh no, right? How often does that actually happen? Or if something does happen, was it what you expected? And when things that are bad happen, do you expect them? Not really. The estimation of reality that fear makes or at least the thoughts that are based on fear, like, I don't think they're accurate. I don't know about you, but from my experience, they're not accurate. But it's always like, but what if they are accurate? What if it's true, right? What if this thing would happen? Wouldn't that be awful? That's what fear always says. But you don't know shit. You have no fucking clue. No one does really. And like, that's a good thing. Because it means you can be liberated by a pleasant surprise. But if you're afraid of it and you're focusing on what you're afraid of, you're actually more likely to cement something negative, or at least block something positive. Like the new creation, manifestation in the new comes in the new, right? That comes from the unknown, right? Well, we're always in the unknown, but the illusion of the known blocks the truth of the unknown. I think that makes sense. No, it's been comforting to me because I've been having, I'll say intrusive thoughts come up, right? And I'm thinking, I don't want these thoughts. These are unpleasant. Like, this is negative. Like, this is like, yeah, it's kind of almost like fearing your own thoughts, or if they're even your own thoughts. In any case, I was comforted by the idea I don't know. I have no idea. What if this? What if that? No idea. Because if you're like, okay, I take this seriously. What if that thing? What do I do then? Oh God, oh no. It completely is stifled by, I have no idea. I have no idea if that would happen. I have no idea what then. Like, no, none of it. None of it has any, like, it's like, no. Like, whatever. I have no fucking clue. Right? Because there's a liberation in not knowing. Because otherwise, you're stuck having to do something about it. It gives you the illusion that you're under control and you're responsible for what you do to deal with the situation. And if you do the wrong thing, oh God, wouldn't that be awful, right? If you're not the doer and there's nothing to do, nothing that you can do, and everything just happens to you and everyone else, if everything is just a happening that is unknown until it's experienced in the moment, which is all that exists, then there's nothing to be afraid of. And if you do feel fear, it's just simply, you can embrace and love the feeling, but the thoughts that are associated with it, or the way they paint reality, like it's basically bullshit because it's painting it as this is how it is when you don't know how it is, right? Yeah, I think I've got across what I wanted to get across. Maybe it's a way to deal with fear, anxiety, paranoia, or anything like that. Any form of suffering, really, can be alleviated by the honest acknowledgement of having no idea of what's going on. And also allows you to laugh about things, including laughing at yourself, laughing at your ego, whatever. You do, just because it's like all the stuff that you come up with in your mind, all that the hamster wheel of like doom, the hamster wheel of doom. That's basically what your ego is, right? Everything it comes up with, it's farcical. It really is farcical. And that's okay. So yeah, I wish you well with your inner work and everything else in your experience. for eternity. So, yeah. Bye for now.